Welcome to the YCNU podcast. Join us each week for engaging conversations with campus leaders, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members. From academics to athletics, campus life, and beyond, we cover it all. Have someone you want to hear from? Let us know. Let's explore the world of Yavapai College together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YCNU podcast. I am Cadu Medina, your usual host here for the podcast, and I'm here today with Dr. Doug Berry, our provost. And Dr. Berry, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. So great to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I always enjoy my time talking with you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's great to have you here again. You were here about 16, 17 episodes ago. Since this is a weekly podcast, you can imagine that's quite a big chunk of time.
Yep.
And I know that a lot has happened. And as promised, we want you here to give us an update. You know, what's going on, what's new, what is at the top of your mind here. But let's start with a quick little introduction here in case someone doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, of course. And again, thanks for having me back. I've been at YC since December of 23, so just over a year, and really enjoying my time. I came in as the provost. I oversee divisions 3, 4, and 5, which include visual and performing arts, the humanities, social and behavioral sciences, as well as the sciences, technology, and business. In addition to that, I have the Office of Instructional Support, and that's where we really support the entire college in accreditation, curriculum, project management, and some other spaces, library, tutoring. And the teams work well together, doing great things in addition to our partners in academic divisions 1 and 2. So that's my primary responsibilities here as the Chief Academic Officer.
That's incredible. It's quite a range. And I'm sure that with all that, the number of people that are working with you, your teams and everything else, you guys are up to a lot. I do know that we just recently have been celebrating and kind of working really hard on a few really important news, and I want you to catch us up. Just give us an update here. What are these big things that are going around the campus and we're all super excited about? I know you have everything to do with it. So let us know. What's going on? What's new?
Yeah, I think one of our more exciting things that we're doing, we're adding additional bachelor's degrees to the college academic portfolio. And again, these are collaborations with many faculty and staff and students across the institution. So while these projects are moving forward and people have their day-to-day interactions, we've also added all of this to their plates. And so our 2 new bachelor's degrees that we're hoping to launch for fall 25 is the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. First degree in that space. It's a 4-year, 120 credit degree that's offered primarily in 8-week blocks and online and OER format. So we know that our students are often working. They have kids, they have parents they're caring for perhaps. And so creating degrees that are more flexible around their schedule allows them to go to school while maintaining their work. And many of them in these degrees are gaining skills that allow them to advance at work before they've even finished the degree. So we are fortunate. We have received official Higher Learning Commission accreditation approval for our Bachelor of Science and Computer Science for fall 25 already.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a very exciting one for sure.
Yeah, we're very proud of the faculty in the computer science division who were the subject matter experts, our curriculum faculty and gen ed faculty who were involved. We had a number of people in the Office of Instructional Support who've been shepherding the process along, as well as our academic administrators. So they've done a tremendous job, and now we're working with advising and retention and really recruiting students to come into the program. And our marketing team's been a huge support of making the public and our internal groups know about our new bachelor's degree in computer science.
Are we enrolling at this point for computer science? Are we?
Well, this is hot off the press. So we just received approval. Okay. So we will begin our enrollment and our recruitment campaigns in March.
For fall.
For fall of 25,
Beautiful.
Correct. Yeah, and we're building upon an associate level degree in computer science and cybersecurity. So we do have students who we know are interested in these fields. And then all the data research that we've done shows that this is a degree that's attractive. Students want to be in the field. Employers need more graduates. And of course, they earn a great wage once they graduate and move into the workforce.
Yeah, this is going to be terrific, especially for those who are getting their associate's degree or some other certifications. I mean, this is like a direct pathway to a bigger career, some bigger accomplishments for all these students that we already have here in the campus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we're attracting our current students and those students in Yavapai County, but because it's online, we may pull from other areas within the state where students find this very attractive. They don't have to leave their home. They're still going to get the same great instruction in the classroom, the great academic and student support, wraparound services, and online student. And so it's really attractive for many people beyond our physical walls.
Right. Well, wonderful. Congratulations again. And then there's one more?
Yeah. So our second bachelor's degree that we're, again, hoping to launch fall 25 is the 92 credit optimized Bachelor of Applied Science in business. And this one is unique. This is the first one in the country that a community college will be offering in what our accrediting agency, the Higher Learning Commission, calls a reduced credit baccalaureate degree. Mm-hmm. And so what that means is the traditional baccalaureate degree is 120 credits. The Higher Learning Commission is the largest accrediting agency in the country. In September said we are going to allow applications to come in where colleges and universities can reduce those required credits. And as long as the students are still meeting those program learning outcomes, they're well prepared to enter the workforce or continue their academic career, they're going to look at accrediting those reduced credit degrees. And there's a number of other accrediting agencies around the country who have jumped on board. And so there will be other colleges and universities that we know of who will be offering reduced credit baccalaureate degrees. But as far as we can tell, we'll be the first community college, which is really exciting.
Wow. So how, I know we already offer a business degree, right? And that's the 120 credits there. How did this whole 92 degree or 92 credit degree happen? Like, how did we get there? How do we come up with this? And did we model this after somebody else who was doing this somewhere else in the country? What is the story behind it? Because I know this is not just something that we pulled off the shelf and said, all right, let's just offer this one as well.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it really has taken on over a year of work. In fact, before I officially started at the college, I was meeting with the president, and Dr. Ryan said, I'm hearing about this new degree that might be out there from the Higher Learning Commission. Have you heard anything about it? And so we started talking a little bit, and when the president says, hey, have you heard about something? You better find out. So I immediately jumped into my resources, talking to colleagues and peers around the state, reaching out and looking at the Higher Learning Commission, but then also doing some research nationally. Are there colleges doing these reduced credit or accelerated programs? And what I found is that accelerated programs have been around for a long time, but not in this fashion. Mm-hmm. So colleges and universities, even community colleges, have been talking about graduate faster, accelerate your time to graduation. Right. But they're not reducing the credits. They're having students take more classes or short-term classes.
Oh, I see. That's a big difference.
Yeah, maybe their schedule includes a summer class. So sure, their bachelor's degree no longer takes 4 years because they're going full-time in the summer. Right. But it's still the same credit requirement. That means it's still the same cost, still the same time that they're doing. It's just in a different way. And this was really innovative in that we are actually reducing the time to completion by the number of credits, which overseas, this is actually more common. So again, looking at what they're doing in Europe and other countries, they have 3-year baccalaureate degrees that are truly 3 years and not the longer 4-year, just reduced in time. And one of the pioneers here was BYU Pathways. So initially, their accrediting agency gave them provisional approval, so not full approval yet, but enough approval to launch a pilot and to see how this would work, how would this attract students. Okay. So I jumped in and met with their team. I brought along some of my colleagues here at the college to meet with their team and understand how they did, what they were doing, why they did it. Was it right for students, and how are students responding to it? So in meeting with BYU Pathways, our initial meetings went very well. We really had a great conversation with them and their leadership team. We talked about the program development, the curriculum structure, the assessment of the program, again, the student interest and what that meant for careers. Would they be hired? Would they be eligible for graduate school? We asked some tough questions, and very, very helpful folks. The other group we met with was called the College in 3 Exchange. And this was a group, a eclectic group of peers who have been meeting for some time in this effort to reduce the overall credits of a baccalaureate degree. And I think a lot of their pioneering work got us to this point where colleges and universities all over the U.S. now will soon be able to offer reduced credit degrees where students really focus in on the skills that they need. Right. And, we're able to do this without watering down the degree. We're We're not pulling anything out of the degree that isn't going to be useful as a generally educated person, which is really important to us. We want all of our students to leave with those general education skills like oral communication, written communication. We want them to be critical thinkers. We want them to think about civic engagement. So that all stays in the degree. What we decided to do, and working closely with our business faculty and looking at our 121 credit degree, we have these core courses in business that employers have told us are important. So we want to leave those in.
Okay.
So we have our general education courses, we have our core business courses, and we have our upper division business courses as well, where they're really learning those higher level business skills. So what the business faculty talked about doing, again, with our other faculty groups before we move forward with any finalized curriculum, was pulling out some of the electives. So those elective courses are courses that students can take if they want to. They have options. And if they might be interested in, let's say, accounting, they really want to take those elective accounting courses.
Right.
Accounting requires you to have 150 credits to sit for the CPA exam. So it really is advantageous for our students to stay in the 120 credit degree rather than come to the 92 credit degree. But for many students and employers, they're saying if they have these general education skills and they have the foundations of business and they have some higher thinking or higher order thinking of business skills as they graduate, then they're ready. And we want them in the workforce, and we know they're going to be prepared, and we know they're going to do well. So that was really how we formed the new curriculum for the 92 credit optimized degree.
Nice. Obviously, I think one of the main questions for students here is this what we're calling optimized degree here? Is this still going to be valid? Does it still count as a bachelor's degree, or this is going to be looked at as, okay, this is a reduced, or any kind of negative connotation that may be applied to it, right? And how did we go around, the laws and for lack of a better word here, that determine what is a bachelor's degree and what is not, right? When we're pulling things out that were agreed upon at some point, that were like, this is the recipe for a bachelor's degree, and it has to be in there. If it's not in there, it's not accredited. How did we manage to go around that? I'm sure that the approval process for all of this, so that this bachelor's degree still counts, wasn't an easy thing to do, especially since we're some of the first ones to do that. That's
a great question. And I'm sure students and community members and others have that same question. So I'll start with the how. And to my knowledge, there are some states that require the number of credits in a baccalaureate degree in law. So that's actually in a statute
in
somewhere,
law. Okay.
Right? In the state statute.
Yeah.
Arizona does not have that. Most states, I believe, do not have that. And so we don't have to worry about any state laws or restrictions around this. The primary driver was our accrediting agency. So what the accrediting body, the Higher Learning Commission, says we can do, we can use their parameters and their scope of work, and we can create a degree that fits. Now, they didn't say it has to be 92 degrees or 92 credits. They just said it can be a reduced credit. So we could have created a 100 credit degree or 110 credit degree. Right. But our business faculty, and they worked very closely with our industry partners and our advisory committee, came up with these classes that totaled 92 credits as our degree. And like I said, that includes the gen eds, that includes foundational classes, it includes upper division classes. We left all of our experiential learning in. So they're doing some type of practicum or capstone project. And so that's how we were able to follow their application process and apply for approval. And other colleges, I mentioned BYU earlier, they have degrees that are 105 or 97 credits. They have a few that are varying in credits, but it's really coming down to those program learning outcomes. And when a student enrolls in our program and they say, this is what I'm going to have at the end of this program, we have to make sure that we have the classes that are going to make that happen. Right.
And in a time frame that fits our students' needs. And then we know we're here to get them into the workforce as quickly as possible, but in the most effective and efficient way as well, right? Yeah, that's when this business degree fits perfectly.
Absolutely. And then the second part of your question was really a lot of my own homework of if we're going to offer this degree here, is it valid? Will employers accept it? Will graduate programs see it as the same thing as a current bachelor's degree? And I really started just reaching out. One place I reached out was the Department of Defense. And I wanted to know if veteran students who completed this baccalaureate degree could enter the armed forces as an officer as they would with a 120 credit degree.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And their response to me was much what I heard from other institutions was that if it's an accredited baccalaureate degree, we don't look under the hood. So we're not going to see, we don't have any restrictions on it being 120 plus or at least 100 credits. We just want to see that it's an accredited degree from an accredited institution, and that's what we will determine as if it's valid or not. So armed forces, our students can come in here and they can finish our degree and jump right into their career in the military if that's their choice. Our employers were actually very excited about this because, like I said earlier, they want a really well-educated person, a well-rounded educated person who can talk to their clients, who can talk to their coworkers, who can think critically to solve problems. And then they can teach the other specifics of their job or their industry to their employees as they onboard. So the fact that they can get them quicker in the workforce and trust that they came from Yavapai College and know that they're educated in a way that will help them be successful, they were really big supporters and participated in our accrediting site visit as well. The last group there is the graduate programs. And so we started to meet with other graduate programs, myself and the associate dean and some faculty, just to see if our program learning outcomes, the curriculum we're providing would be enough for our students to get in their graduate programs. And overwhelmingly, they came back with, yes, from what we can tell in reviewing your curriculum, the outcomes that you are teaching students, this seems like a seamless transfer in. And if the Higher Learning Commission has accredited your degree, you've met all of their standards, then why would we not accept your program? So we were really excited to have those conversations. And I still believe that there might be some colleges or universities who hold off and say, we'll accept you, but maybe you have to take a couple more courses. People do that already. We have some really great transfer agreements and MOUs with other colleges and universities where our students know for sure that they're going to be accepted without questions asked. Even those that we don't, our students will still be accepted. And if they have additional educational requirements, it's likely going to be a class or two or a specific class that covers a content area that they think students need to be successful. Right. But it's going to be the outlier in that space. It's not going to be the norm.
Wow, that is super exciting. I have a list of questions here that I think it came from an email that actually you sent out to the entire college. And I thought the way you presented the information here was so good. I was just going to follow some of these questions, but I think you already answered most of them. But one that I feel like we didn't touch quite as much is the students that are considering transitioning from this course into something else, which we know that's going to happen a lot. Even the students that are kind of getting their studies in a completely different area, right? They spent already, 2 years trying to get their education, let's say in nursing, and decided, I want to go into business. Yeah. What is the transfer process for students that are in other areas to come into this business degree? And then vice versa, like for example, even the students that are in the full 120 credits of business, can they transfer easily into this 92 credit? Is it that streamlined?
Yeah. And I think people are going to ask those questions and be really curious about that. And the answer is yes to all of those questions. So a student who has maybe picked up credits from an outside institution and they hear about YC and they want to come join us, they're going to work with one of our really talented advisors and evaluate their transcript and see what classes they've taken and what might be the same equivalent in our degree. If they're in the state of Arizona, our degree lines up with the Arizona General Education curriculum for the first 32 credits. So it's really likely that many of those 32 credits, if not all of them, will seamlessly transfer into this program. And then a lot of our foundation level business courses are the same foundation level business courses you'd see at any of the other community colleges or state universities. And if this looks like a more attractive degree for them, they'll be able to bring in as many credits as they want, as long as we retain enough credits here for them to have residency and graduate with us. Just like our 120 credit students, if they see this degree comes out in fall 25, pending HLC approval, and they say, hey, I'd like to transfer into that degree, even though I'm already in a business degree. Again, they're just going to meet with one of our advisors. They're going to talk about the courses they've already taken. They're going to talk about the schedule of courses that are upcoming, and they'll be able to seamlessly transition them into that new program. Likewise, if we have students start in the 92 credit and they're like, hey, I really want to get more in this particular area. Maybe it's leadership or digital marketing, one of our other concentrations. It is built very similarly. And so they can take the credits they've already earned in the 92 credit degree and move into the 121 credit degree. And now they're in a 4-year program with a concentration in one of our 4 concentrations.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
So what is what's the next thing that we're waiting to happen so that we can start enrolling students into this course? I know that our goal is fall 2025, and it's coming down pretty quick. Where are we as far as making this official and having it available to all our students?
Yeah, so this one required a few more steps than our computer science degree because we already have 120 credit degrees. We did not need a site visit, but because this is one of the first reduced credit degrees the Higher Learning Commission is accrediting, and it would be our first, it required a site visit from a peer review team. So we had a peer review team come out in early February. They conducted 13 interviews with different groups around the college, met with faculty, staff, students, the executive team. And from there, they took our application and they're developing a report based on that application and site visit to move to the last accrediting council with the HLC. So we are hoping to hear in the very near future what that recommendation will be. Once that recommendation goes forward, we'll be able to officially promote the degree pending HLC approval. And then once we get the IAC, Institutional Actions Council approval, like our computer science degree received, then we can fully recruit and bring students in. So we're waiting on pins and needles to hear some really great news from the HLC. And of course, we'll be sharing that out as soon as we do.
That's excellent. I actually thought of one more question here that I had as far as the business degree here and in the faculty and staff. Mm-hmm. Is it the same staff, the same faculty that we have on the 120 credit that's going to be, at teaching classes and doing everything else on the 92 side credit? So it's the same staff, same faculty.
Yeah, and that was one of our considerations. We could have looked at a degree in a completely different field, but perhaps that would have required some specific equipment or hiring of additional faculty. Now, we are hiring additional faculty because we have some vacant lines to fill and the programs continue to grow. Our 121 degree business degree has done phenomenal, well over 700 students declared in that program, over 5,000 student credit hours taken. Yeah. So it's very popular. So we're trying to add more faculty. They'll come with that same expertise across business. And likewise, as we grow, our advisors have a 1 to 300 or 350 student ratio that they try to stick to. And so our student services group keeps a close eye on that. And as the programs grow, we'll certainly bring in more people as we need to. Other resources like tutoring, library, disability resource services, those are the same great staff that we have and will continue to serve our students as they come in. And as we grow, it is very likely that we'll add more tutoring, whether that's full-time tutors, part-time tutors. I know our tutoring director right now is working on some really great AI tutoring supports, which is just mind-blowing. If you haven't had a chance to talk to Ustazi yet, you should catch her on another podcast.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're really excited about the fact that these business faculty have been here and that have been building this program from the ground up. Many of our adjunct faculty, so our full-time faculty are great. They're here. They're doing lots of amazing things. But we couldn't do this without our adjunct faculty. They are also involved in the curriculum process. They come to business meetings. Our business department does a great job of providing course shells and developmental materials. Same with our TELS Center for faculty support. So it's, again, like I said earlier, a big team effort to make any of this work and support our students.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And it's so interesting that, we are a community college, and traditionally you wouldn't expect a community college to be working so hard and putting forward so many bachelor's degrees. And so I know this is part of a bigger vision, a bigger strategy that we have for the college. Do you mind talking a little bit about that? And where are we going with this? What can we expect of the future? I know you guys work 24/7 into coming up with better ways to educate our students and to create more resources and to strengthen the resources that we already have. Is this the new community college that we can expect for our county, for our state?
Well, we're really fortunate here at YC to have forward-thinking, innovative leaders. And And while we may want to innovate, we're still guided by our strategic plan and our strategic priorities. So that keeps people focused and on task. And we have now 3 with computer science. If the business one goes through, then that will be our 4th bachelor's degree. And that's 4 of many, many programs that we offer. But part of our responsibility as academic leaders, Dr. Mary Lou Mercado and myself, we are leading a team with Faculty Senate President Alex Barber about our academic master plan and our total academic portfolio. And as you might imagine, interests change at times in the community. Interests change from students. And so we have degrees and programs that were at one point very, very full who have run their course, and maybe the industry's changed or students lack interest in that topic. And so we need to make sure that we're keeping our programs up to date, that we have the resources available to really serve those students in the right way. And so bachelor's degrees are no different. We're looking at the same student metrics of interest. We're looking at the market demand. We're looking at employer demand. We're looking at livable wage, and certainly modality of which we can offer these degrees. And because many of our students are adult learners, that's one of our priorities. Are we offering these degrees and programs in a way that the adults in the community who are working, who have a child or 2, can still come in and improve their socioeconomic mobility while going to school and doing all those other things in life that are often the priority. And so it's part of our team's responsibility to make sure that we are innovating and doing the new things, but we're also mindful of what we currently do and mindful of what we have done and maybe need to revisit. And so that's a continuing, ongoing process. And I wouldn't want to say that we're going to keep rolling out bachelor's degrees at the clip that we have been, but we've done a really good job of recognizing the needs of the community and the students. And we'll continue to evaluate that before we offer any new degree or program, whether it's a associate level or a certificate or a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. And as our community grows, as the population changes and, economy and everything else plays a little role into all of this, we'll continue to kind of monitor and see the need and fill the need, right? I guess that's always the goal.
Yeah, and it's great. We have students that do transfer on and go to other schools, but so many of our students, the majority of our students, start here, stay here, and finish here. Yeah. And then they're right back in the workforce in the community again. So it's really a win-win for the college and the community.
Right. And that's another thing that we can't talk enough about it, is that the fact that in this small community of Yavapai County, we're pretty close to having 4 very demanding bachelor's degrees available to this community, where they don't have to go anywhere else. They don't have to move out of here, and they can stay, which I know it's all part of a much bigger master plan for the community, right? Is to raise children, educate them, help them become successful grown-ups and have families and work all here.
Absolutely. And not only serve the folks who live here now and we want to see stay here, but also attract new people in with our great workforce that we have here and our great education systems that we continue to grow and partner well with. And so we just want to make sure we are serving the community, and that includes our industry partners, our education partners, as well as our students. And
Wonderful.
Then if we continue to do that, we'll keep demonstrating through data our enrollment and our completion rates and our success rates of our students, and also the employees who, seem to really enjoy working here. I know I do. I've had a great year and plus time, and our results that continue to come out from our engagement surveys show that people feel listened to, they feel heard, and they feel a part of something. And I think that's really big. I talk a lot about living your purpose. And so if you can feel like you are serving your purpose in the workplace, it rarely feels like work. Like you get to come here and be you and do great things for other people. And that's what YC feels like a lot of times.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, here's a curveball question for you then. 1 year with Yavapai College. Okay. Give us the highlight reel. What has been some of the cool, exciting things that have happened, and just kind of summarize this 1 year for us?
That's a lot. There've been so many good things. I mean, from the warm welcome I received as a new executive leader from the faculty, staff, students, and community, to creating and growing these new programs. We've seen, again, new programs at various levels. We've revamped new programs. We are one of the first colleges to roll out the new AJEC, which is a requirement for fall 26, but because of our dedicated faculty and staff, we are ready for fall 25, so we're a year in advance. I'll tell you, graduation, commencement ceremony was amazing in the Verde Valley.
Yes,
and then over here in Prescott, that was unlike any graduation or commencement ceremony I've been a part of. So I really enjoyed that. The way that we get together as a college community for convocation in the fall, we bring everybody together. We bring in great speakers. It's a really energizing time. I've enjoyed that. I appreciate the social activities that we host in the community. Our Fine and Performing Arts does amazing things, both internally for academics and externally for the community. And the way we really work together with our K-12 partners, I've gotten a chance to know many of the superintendents, if not all of them by now, across the county, as well as other educational leaders in the space. And they're just a great group of people, all focused on students and student success, just at different levels. And so we've had a chance to partner with them. I try to get to the athletic events when I can. We got some really great, phenomenal sports teams here, and it's exciting to see that, whichever team is out there playing, and cheer them on and see those students who, as a former college athlete myself, I mean, sometimes that's the only reason you go to college is to play sports. And then you get there and you find out, wow, okay, I can really do more. I can learn. I can go into a career field I didn't think was a possibility. But you were here initially because you really like playing that sport and you like the team camaraderie, and maybe it's a great coach that attracted you here. Yeah. So there's just so many good things that I've seen, and I've had the pleasure of watching our Family Enrichment Center grow, and under the leadership of Tara O'Neill come in and really expand what we're doing, and doing it in good ways for our students and our youngest learners on campus. And so it'd be hard for me to pick one or two things. There's multiple things every month that happen here that are just so positive. We're bringing back the honors program. We now have fall enrollment for our honors program for the first time in a couple of years. And so that's a new experience that we want to provide to students. And again, Denise has done such a great job as our honors program director, working with Stacy Hilton to really bring back something that's more accessible for all of our students and equitable across our entire district. So we're excited to be launching that too. So many good things are going on.
Right. Well, thanks for sharing all the highlights and the wonderful things that you've been working on. Anything for the audience to keep an eye on, ears open for, things that are coming down sometime soon here?
Well, I think our biggest
let's just hint at it. You don't have to really give details.
We've been working towards shorter term classes. I mentioned all of our bachelor's degrees are in 8 weeks, online, OER. These are flexible for students. We have about 60% of our overall classes in an 8-week format, and we are working to really adjust our framework, the way we're serving all of our students in that shortened term process. So again, we're trying to help students get to their goal of completion quicker. Right. We're trying to make it more fiscally attainable. We want to make sure they do it in a very intentional way. So they're taking certain classes at certain times. We don't want them taking 5 classes across 16 weeks. We want them taking 1 or 2 classes at a time in 8 weeks. And so we are obviously adjusting courses. We're providing support for faculty, but we're also changing some of our policies, our wraparound services, because that's how we're going to be delivering our product to the community. And that's what we're hearing. We know nationally students are more successful in short-term classes. I mentioned earlier, all of our students have life happening, and that those are their priorities. If you look at a poll of college students, college usually ranks 4th, 5th, or 6th on their priority list, even though it's a very expensive, in some cases, investment if they're not here at YC taking advantage of our great programs. And so we know we want to make sure that we're delivering our programs in a way that's going to help them be most successful. And that's a fall 26 launch. So we've given ourselves about a year and some change to get ready for that process, and not only internally, but make sure students know what that's going to be like for them. And for some, they're going to come in and only take 8-week classes and won't know any different. Right. But for others, there may be some who started in a 16-week class, and now they have to try to figure out what that means for their schedule and their study time. And so we're giving ourselves plenty of time to make sure we do that the right way. But again, that's a very cross-college collaborative group working on how we're supporting students, faculty, and staff to continue to improve outcomes for students. Excellent.
Well, Dr. Berry, thank you so very much for all the updates. It's always such a wonderful thing to talk to you. You're very enthusiastic and full of passion and purpose there. And it's awesome to hear from you all the things that we've been working on and accomplishments and all that. If anyone wants to kind of connect with you, what's the best way to get to you?
Yeah, I'm always happy to have conversations, grab a coffee, whatever it might be. Email works great, douglas.berry@yc.edu. Of course, reaching out to my amazing admin, Billy Norris, is always the way to get on the schedule because
Billy's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, she directs my life, and I appreciate that because anytime I try to schedule something, I typically screw it up. But she handles it well, and she's very thoughtful in her approach. And if you want to get on my calendar, Billy will handle that and make it happen. But I'm also out on campus as much as I can be, walking around. Feel free to stop, talk to me about whatever topic might be on your mind.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, Dr. Berry, again, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing all the good news. And I look forward to recording with you again sometime soon. Again, every couple of weeks that, we're not talking, there's like 3, 4, 5 new topics that we need to cover. So I'll probably be following up with you here sometime really soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to the YCNU podcast. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today. Don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got someone in mind for our next chat? Reach out and let us know. Until next time, keep exploring, and we'll see you next week.